All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So we have some pretty interesting Jets news that came out like 2 minutes ago here from ESPN. Diana Orsini. She's reporting that the Jets are going to be interviewing former Broncos head coach Nathaniel Hackett for their offensive coordinator opening, right? Their vacancy. Now, what's really interesting right off the bat is that yes, Hackett didn't work out in Denver, and it was bad, right? It was bad. The defense was great. Like everything about the team, like on paper, I thought they were going to be fighting for a playoff spot entering the season, right? They go out, they trade all these picks, they trade Noah Fant, they trade Drew Lock, they go get Russell Wilson. You have the wide receivers in Judy and Hamler and Sutton. You have guys at the tight end position. I mean, again, you look at that defense, Sertan, one of the best cornerbacks in football, so many studs all over the place, the home field advantage, the fans. And then it's like the offense is so bad, and Nathaniel Hackett comes in as the offensive guy, and he's calling plays, and he worked with their like he was supposed to get the offense moving, shifting gears from the Vic Fangio era, who Saleh actually knows. But I digress. You look at Hackett, and it's like, man, what a disappointment. But here's the interesting thing: it's not like Adam Gase, where he's just, yeah, it didn't work out. Yeah, he's obviously not the answer. And now nobody wants him, right? He's just exiled from the NFL. You just don't really see his name pop up anywhere else. There's been reports that Green Bay really wants him back. Obviously, he's interviewing for the Jets OC job. There's a ton of gigs all over the NFL when we look at offensive coordinator with all the teams that need head coaches. So like Houston, Indianapolis, Carolina, Arizona. Obviously, Denver's not going to do it, but we can take a look at Washington. We can take a look at the Chargers, the Titans, Buccaneers now. Like, there's so many gigs. Will Hackett get more interviews? It's an interesting question. And when we think back to when the Jets initially played the Broncos earlier on in the season, Saleh was going on raving about Hackett's play design and just him as an offensive mind. So it doesn't come as a big shock. Plus, we also heard that Hackett's name could be linked, or we did hear that Hackett's name was linked to the Jets before things really started getting rolling. I think it was like the day after the Mike LaFleur news, names started, emerging, including guys like Darrell Bevell and whatnot. But so far, man, we've seen Kevin Patullo, Marcus Brady. Well, sorry. So far, the guys that have actually interviewed with the Jets, because they've been linked to a ton of different guys like Greg Olson and Joe Brady and whatnot, Frank Reich, Gary Kubiak, but the guys that have actually interviewed with the team, Marcus Brady, former Colts OC, Kevin Patullo, Darrell Bevell, now Nathaniel Hackett, and there has been some talks that Brian Johnson will get a look, the Eagles quarterback coach, which could be interesting. But at the end of the day, this is a massive search. Massive search. Let me know your thoughts about Hackett down below. Man, on surface level, like optically speaking, I could see the media going nuts. Like if this actually happens, right? News breaks the Jets hire Nathaniel Hackett, the guy who failed to score 20 points a game with the Denver Broncos offense, the guy that got canned after 1 year with Russell Wilson and a stacked roster. I don't see that going over well. But at the same time, if you are firing Mike LaFleur, if Saleh has all this pressure on him to, win this season, make the playoffs of the season, and you can make the same argument for Joe Douglas. He's actually been here longer than Saleh. You can tell like they are handcuffing themselves to Hackett. So there's got to be that trust. There's got to be that level of conviction that Hackett is the guy to move this offense forward. And look, in Hackett's defense, he is a young guy. He can learn from his mistakes. He can get better. And also in his time in Green Bay, he was well liked. Obviously working with Aaron Rodgers. He was, before the Green Bay Packers, he was actually the offensive coordinator for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe took over for Greg Olson back in 2016 and 2017. Could be wrong on the dates, but anyway, Hackett has play calling experience. He has worked with quarterbacks. He's had some highs. He's had some lows. Has playoff experience as well. So we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.